You have no clue how potent and powerful your mind is. And you have no idea when you channel this energy within you into your mind and you know how to focus it, and you're not distracted by all of this external shit, what type of creative force you are. That's why you don't need the law of attraction, the law of assumption, all that stuff, guys. You don't. Because there, you're like, I need some stuff. I need some money. I need some this and that. I want my life to look a certain way. No. In this moment, where the only place I can access God itself, in this moment, where I can channel the energy, where I can tap into like my truest fucking power, that's from where you create. You're not sitting like doing journals and like vision boards and stuff, man. Your truest power is your core essence, the spark of God that decided to walk around as flesh, and the word became flesh, like that kind of bullshit. That's what the mythology and the stories are all pointing to. And so in all of my videos, at least the vast majority, I'm always saying, you're lost in the sauce. Everyone's lost in the sauce. They're lost in the external world. And then you hear it like on movies and shows, and you read it on your Facebook, posts and Instagram posts. Hey guys, just tap into yourself. Hey guys, just be yourself. Just be your most authentic self. And no one knows how to go about doing that, and no one knows what that looks like once they finally realize it, how it truly manifests in your life from moment to moment. And you're like, you glimpse it, and then you like chase after it because you saw something that was true. And it's like, no. When you truly harness it, you're always pouring yourself out of it into this powerful like energy that you're just pushing out. And when you speak and when you think and when you like are there, your thoughts and your words are that much more powerful. We're sitting here like giving our power away to all of these different things. If you believe in a religion, if you think that like through that religion, that is the portal to you accessing yourself, if you think that you have to believe in Jesus or believe in Buddha or believe in Muhammad or believe in whoever the fuck, then you are taking your power away from yourself. Because you're basically saying, I'm not like a divine being myself. I'm not like a chosen one myself. I haven't incarnated here with the same powers that they had. Guys, they were just trying to wake you up to the same energy that they are embodying. That's all they're trying to do. They're like, hey man, like I've realized my most powerful and full of bliss and joyous self. I've realized that. And I want to share that with you so that you too can realize your true power. So that you can see through this mirage, this illusion, this joke. It's all a joke. It's all a joke. When you exist in this place, when you're coming from this place where it like bubbles up inside you, this spring of like awesomeness and power that you are, when you exist from there, you start looking at everything differently and you're like, oh my God, look at all these people that are lost. Maybe I should do something about it. Maybe I should be of service. Maybe I should give. Because all of this stuff doesn't really hold the power that you think it does. All of these things that you're chasing after, your profession, like you want to achieve certain things, you want to do certain things, you want to meet certain people, you want to experience certain things, you are giving yourself to those things, man. Every moment that you're thinking about that and projecting them and like, oh no, I'm so not okay with where I am right now. All of those times that you're doing that, you are giving that power in that moment that you are to those things. And your manifestation doesn't come from there. Your new reality doesn't come from there. It comes from your essence, your beingness. And that's the most potent force there is. That is the spark of God itself. It's like you pray to God, you're like, God, I'm in need of a miracle, God, because like, my mom is sick or like my uncle is sick or whoever's sick. God, I really could I really could use some of your help. I hope you can help out, That miracle that you're looking for that God's going to bestow on you, that like most potent, powerful force of healing that you're looking for, you already have that. You already are that. So you're basically praying to yourself, but you don't know that you yourself contain that power. That's why Jesus could heal. Buddha could probably heal, But Jesus was existing in a time where like people were in need of healing. They were so far from the core essence of themselves. They had so much karma to burn through that he was just like, you know what? I'll help you out. And they're coming to him in droves, man. They're like, yo, chosen one, heal us. He's like, okay, I'll heal you, I guess. You know, I guess I got nothing better to do. I'll talk about this stuff and I'll exist this way and I'll show you how powerful you are. And then like the disciples and those that came after were like, they bungled the message and they're like, only through Jesus can you achieve this state of being. Like the most nonsense message, you know, only through Jesus. Oh, because he said he was the truth and the way and the light and that only through him. So I guess we're just going to believe that. Or maybe they modified it, or maybe they added it, or maybe they misremembered it, you know, something. And even if he truly meant those exact words, what he's saying is, on your way to truth, when you find the spark of power that you are, when you fully embody it, when you get rid of all of this shit, all of this karmic gunk that you've built up, on your way to truth, you'll see that I reside there too. You'll see that my message resides there too. You'll see that my essence, my core being, the Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it, my God energy resides there too. And the Buddha would say the same thing. And Muhammad would say the same thing. And all of the greatest chosen and prophets would say the same thing. Because that's the only place that you can access this truth, guys. So if I'm tapping into my truth, I by default am tapping into Jesus and Krishna and Lao Tzu and Eckhart Tolle and all these like great ones. They're there, I'm there. We're all there. Yay, kumbaya. Let's all like create an amazing life together because we have that power. So when you're sitting alone in your room and you're feeling sorry for yourself, how powerful do you feel? You don't think that you can influence life. It's like the wool has been pulled over your eyes and you've tricked yourself. You've bought into the trickster, the negative shit. You've bought into that. And now you're like, oh man, I can't make a good life happen. A life well lived, like the sophists were like chasing after, looking for. They're like, how do I live a life well lived? You do it by tapping into yourself. And how repetitive these videos I put up where I just keep saying, you tap into yourself. What does that look like, Darius? I can't touch it. How am I going to know when I'm there? And that's why Jesus is like, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like that. You know, it's going to look like this. It'll be like this. It'll be like the tree. It'll be like the bird. It'll be, you know, like, you know what I mean? He's like, I can't tell you really, because I only know what it looks like and feels like for me. And it's beyond words. So it's like, it's almost a waste of energy to try and describe it, you know? It's almost like, guys, just watch me, I guess, and like look at how I interact with life. You know? If you're around someone that's awake and you spend hours and hours and hours with them and you just observe them, you'll find it through that too, man. It's actually more magnetic, that portal that they suck you through. Because they're pushing out that energy all the time. You know, words are useful, but like right now I'm speaking and you might get inspired. You're like, wow, this stuff is good, man. Like, I like these words, Darius. Thanks, man. Like you're pointing to the truth with your words. Great. But then as soon as the video turns off and you go about your life, it's like those words are not on, they're not at the forefront of your consciousness. You're not thinking about them. You're not like, oh man, I need to like go and do what Darius was saying and what Jesus was saying and what all these people were saying. I got to do it all the time. And you're constantly like, that's what God is asking for you to do through your devotion to him, to the source, to life itself, to tap into that most potent power that you possess. The power to perform miracles, the power to heal, the power to create out of thin air. We all have that. We can all manipulate this physical world, but it's too busy manipulating us. You know? You're like, there's only the physical world. There's nothing beyond it. I'm not like, what am I? Like, you think that we just happen to like exist here. Oh, I guess I'll try to do some stuff and, you know, I guess I'll go do a job or something. Ooh, great. The most important thing that you're here to do is to wake up to yourself. It is the primary goal. There is nothing. It supersedes everything. There is nothing, zero, that exists that is a higher calling, that is a higher desperate need that your soul is fucking calling out for. It's like, I want to realize this true power that I am. Most desperately, I'm sick of seeking myself in this external shit all the time. And so maybe if by process of elimination, I get rid of all of that stuff that I'm chasing after, then I'll be left with myself. That's why they're saying, give. You know, don't worry about your clothes. Don't worry about your job. Don't worry about money. Don't worry, because all of these things are tied to the physical and ultimately they're illusory. Okay, yeah, you need money. You need some things to subsist, to exist, right? Because you're in the physical. You got to take care of yourself, right? But we've gone too far in the self-care. We're pampering ourselves. We need massages. We need face creams. We need all this stuff because we're so like conceited, so concerned with how we appear to others physically. Am I pretty? Am I good looking enough? Are you going to think I'm good looking enough? Am I going to be handsome enough to attract the right mate to complete me? When in reality, you're already fucking perfect and powerful. And they would be lucky to have you. But who wants someone that isn't tapped into themselves? You see what I mean? Like, your partner is always going to sense something is off in you if you're not tapped into yourself, because there's always going to have some seed of insecurity and inauthenticity. The most attractive thing that we can possess, that we are, is when we're tapped into our authenticity. When we don't care what anyone thinks, what anyone like your idea of me isn't going to limit me. I'm not in a place where it just bounces off me, man. Like, you have a thought, you have a suggestion, you have whatever, and it's like, I can take it or leave it. And most often I'm not going to take it. I'm going to leave it. Because I'm residing in a place where I have the view, I have the clarity of the truth, and since I'm embodying that power, what more can you tell me that's going to add to myself? Maybe you have like a little piece of useful knowledge, or you're going to teach me how to do something, then great. But if you're going to like come in and try and bring me down, feed me negativity, say, no, Darius, like what you're saying is an illusion. What you're saying isn't the truth. The truth is this way. It's like, no, man, I already found my truth and it's fucking magnificent. Maybe you want to join me in this place where I exist from the truth and the way and the light and the love. Ooh, you know, super fancy. And then you can like build up this like huge ego that blocks you. It's ironic. It blocks you from the source. It's an impediment. It's like the middleman between you, your truest self, your most powerful, creative, potent self. Your ego and mind are in the way. And what you need to learn is, I quiet my mind, I bring it back to itself, and then I identify what right mind is, what my conscious is. I eliminate the lies, I eliminate all of the illusory stuff, and then I channel my creative bubbling fountain force. Like, you know, it's almost like a superhero shit. Through my mind, and I create a vision, an image, a word, a deed, whatever. That's what your mind can do. It is the tool. But the mind is using you, like I say in one of my videos. The mind is using you. It's always on, switched on, spewing its nonsense, and you're literally giving your creative force to it. You've attached yourself to it. You're projecting yourself through it, and you don't even know that you're doing it. And the only way you can recognize that is when you start meditating and praying and doing the introspection and contemplating on life and wondering and like, oh, something's off. I don't know what it is. Well, I'm going to believe Darius. I'll take his word for it and say, well, what's off is that I'm looking for myself in all of this stuff that I'm doing. What's off is that I think I'm seeking power in the external when the power does not reside there. That's why, like, the corruption and the greed exists, guys. The illusion of power. You think you amass all of these things, even through a country. You're like, I am in charge of this most powerful country on earth, you know, and I wield this magnificent power to create and to destroy. And you don't have shit. God allows you to have that. But just as quickly as you come into it, it can be taken away. But this thing that I am cannot be taken away. It's always a part of me. It is embedded in my soul. It is embedded in the spark of the divine that I am. So how can God take that away from me? It's like God taking the power away from himself. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Like the supernatural forces that exist in heaven have come to earth in front of you guys, walking around as Jesus. He's like, hey guys, look, this is what I can do. This is what God allows me to do through me, through this physical. And everyone's like, oh my God, how did he do it? Oh, wow, this guy is so powerful. And he's like, man, tap into the purity. Get rid of this stuff. Purify yourself. Like, cut the cords. Cut all of the cords that you've boxed yourself in with. All of these attachments that you have to these like nonsense things. Get rid of it all. And what you're left with is yourself that comes forward. And now you're like, whoa. That's the real waking up, man. And every time someone has an awakening, that's what they're tapping into. They're like, oh man, like, whoa. The mind is like gone for a second and it's like, whoa, like trippy shit. I'm like in this reality and it's like, I can influence stuff. I can do stuff. I can create stuff. I can eliminate and destroy stuff. I have choice over that. And what happens is you align yourself with the divine will. That's where the true power comes in. It's like when Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane and he's like having this torturous, like just tumultuous back and forth, right? He's like, oh man, like I have this impending death that I'm choosing to go into. Because he could have avoided it if he wanted to. He saw the betrayal. He could have left. But he's like, no, you know what? If God's bringing this cup to me, I'm going to drink of this cup and I'm going to go and die and give myself up as an example, okay? And he's going back and forth, not my will, thy will be done. But Jesus was always aligned with God's will, man. When you're channeling this truth, this power that you are, you're always aligned. And so it's like a merging of the divine will and your will, where your fate meets your choice, where your destiny lines up with this moment and is created through it. So my will, thy will be done, whatever. All you're asking for is, hey man, God, hey man, do you think that this is how it should be? And then if it happens, then God's like, yes, this is how it should be. Because there's no arguing with how life itself plays out. You're so like rooted and grounded and anchored in this current moment all the time that you see that like how everything comes to you and how you interact with it is always perfect. It's like if it happens that way, it's like I'm gonna look back at history and say, no, it should or shouldn't have happened that way. It's like, no, man, it happened that way. You're gonna argue with how it happened? And it's like, no, there is, but we can mentally project ideas of how it should or shouldn't have been different, and we probably should or shouldn't have killed those people. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, of course, you can always look at it that way. But it happened. Get over it. All you can influence is right now and into the future. That's all you can influence. So why are you placing your attention in the past and saying, oh no, look at these people, they fucked up? Okay, learn from it then. Don't repeat the mistakes of history, right? That's why we're supposed to look at history, to not repeat those mistakes. But it keeps replaying over and over again the same way. Why? Because the core root of all of these people and how they're behaving is detached from the true power that they are. If everyone, like let's say just miraculously, everyone overnight woke up to their true power that they are, we had this grand awakening of the new earth, there wouldn't be war and famine and disease and all of this illusory shit, guys. It wouldn't exist that way. It wouldn't need to manifest itself that way. We wouldn't have to endure nothing but suffering for everyone all the time. But it's like we're headed there slowly, and maybe it reaches a tipping point where it accelerates and it becomes quickly. It's kind of happening anyway. But like all interlaced throughout history, we're like detached from our power and we're seeking our power through stuff. And it's like nation conquering nation and tribes of people conquering others and trying to dominate and dominate and dominate. And the domination doesn't come from dominating another person. You're basically dominating yourself and you have no clue that you're doing it. Because you can't really truly harness and like put someone down ever. You can put them in jail, you can lock them up, you can do whatever you want to do, you can put them through torturous shit, but the spark of what they are is untouchable. And God is only allowing you in that moment to act out that suffering. It is part of their karma, it is part of your karma. And you're just notching another, thing on the list of karma that you need to burn through in the future. You're asleep. Everyone's asleep. Not everyone, but 99%, 98%, whatever the number is, it doesn't matter. It's just illustrating a point. So when are you gonna and I asked that, I'm like, when are you gonna choose it? When are you gonna seek the waking up to your true power? You have to put in some work, man. It's not gonna happen magically, but by the grace of God, maybe. Maybe 1 out of 1,000 people hasn't magically happened to them. It's just grace literally takes a shit on you. And you're like, oh, I'm awake now, I guess. you know? It like shits you out. It's like, boom, you've been birthed into the new earth, into the toilet of life. Can you be awake? Here's your awakening. Are you ready for it? And you're like, I'm not ready. This is way, way too scary. It's scary. How you have like the fear of success? It's scary to like walk the path of the enlightened chosen one. Ooh, it is. Because now you're like, wow, there's a gravity to how I interact and behave. You see that in every moment you're influencing, so why not make it the best fucking outcome possible for yourself and others? Do you know how powerful that is? The doing of good deeds, do you have any fucking clue how powerful that is? What you are saying, you're like honoring God. You're like, God, thank you for this wonderful life. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to live my best life. And I'm going to hope that me doing this good thing is going to help this other person. That is a mirror of me. That is basically me. Just in a slightly different suit. In a slightly different physical suit. That's it. That's it. They are you. They have the same problems. They have the same types of thoughts. So it all comes out of the root of fear. How can it not be the same? You're like, no, but Darius, this person has this type of illness and this other person has this type of mental illness. They're totally two different things. This guy is schizophrenic and this guy's bipolar. Two different things. It's like, no, man. They come from the same thing. The same karmic source. The same illusion. The same detachment from source. That's all it is. Your physical illness, man, your cancer comes from the same place. It just looks different. But it's the same at its core. So God's asking you, the moment the moment you reclaim your power that you are, the moment you reclaim it, you start to heal. Immediately. When you're meditating and you're centered and all you're doing is like projecting this light, love, energy throughout your body, you are healing yourself, guys. There's no cancer that can survive in that energy. It's impossible for it to. Your body knows what to do. That's why there's always these miraculous healing stories in the medical world. They're like, we have no clue how it happened. Oh, I don't know. It was a medical miracle. Oh, I don't know. But then you're going to try and science your way into explaining it, and you just can't. Because like I've said before, science cannot account for your intention and your being and your light. It can't. It can only account for stuff that it can see and observe, tangible stuff. The placebo effect is real, guys. You guys are the placebo effect embodied. You guys are that power. It is so magnetic. It will draw anything that you need in this moment to be used. If you need it. But when you really are rooted in the power that you are, you see that you don't need a lot of stuff, man. You automatically become a minimalist, kind of. You're just like, I guess I'll go do that thing or buy those clothes or whatever, but I don't know. It's kind of a waste of time and energy. I'd much rather be doing this other thing, whatever it might be. sitting in meditation, praying to God, helping someone else, sitting around with your family and having a good laugh, you know, like doing whatever brings you joy. God doesn't care how he experiences it, man. He doesn't. He's just like, hey, man, have a good time. It's not so heavy. You're only here for a short time. Find yourself, tap into your truest power and self, and create out of that. And what kind of a miraculous life on earth can you all have if you really, truly tap into that? You are infinite. You are infinity, man. You're like the fucking infinity symbol, the sideways 8. You are that in a physical suit. That's it.